We have huge breaking news from TSN regarding the 2018 World Junior Championship sexual assault case. We now can confirm who the 5 players are that are wanted by police to face charges. We'll discuss what we now learn coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some significant breaking news. For some people, they've already kind of started to connect the dots and put the pieces together here. But as I mentioned in prior videos talking about this case and this situation, even though we knew that there was 5 players on leave from various NHL and European clubs that were connected to this team, until they are actually confirmed to be part of the players that need to face charges, we shouldn't jump to conclusions. There could be other issues going on here, like I mentioned as well. So we did know that Alex Formenton, formerly of the Ottawa Senators, most recently playing in the Swiss League, had turned himself in. We've seen that here in the past 48 hours. So he's been already confirmed and is already prepared, as he said, through his lawyers to defend his innocence and wants everybody to hear both sides of the story and not rush to judgment. And now the other 4 players that were in NHL clubs or with NHL clubs that are on leave have now been confirmed by TSN investigative journalist Rick Westhead that they are for sure indeed the other players wanted by London police to face charges. So that includes Philadelphia Flyers goaltender Carter Hart. That includes Calgary Flames forward Dylan Dubé and multiple players from the New Jersey Devils, including centerman Michael McLeod and defenseman Cal Foote. Now, obviously, you know, this is not shocking news, I'm sure, to many of you watching this video and listening to these reports and keeping up with everything. As these players became on leave from their team, many people kind of started to put the dots together here and connect it. Dylan Dubé was the first to leave his team. That one was the first one. Wasn't a red flag immediately, and I must say, looking back on how the Calgary Flames went about announcing things, indicating that Dylan was leaving the club to work on his mental health and deal with some mental health stuff. Like I said before, I am sure this is very difficult and hard on one's mental health to be facing charges. But I don't think, when you're thinking about the potential, what allegedly went down, the victim and all this, to put it that way, to me, just is not good. Every other team and player put it out that they were taking a leave for personal reasons. Not the Flames statement, so I don't know. I don't know, again, what he and Dubé's agent and himself had indicated to the Flames. Maybe they weren't aware immediately that he was going to be facing charges. I don't know. Either way, it definitely very much misleading, and I just don't like how things were worded. But at the end of the day, we now know the 5 players. We've heard since August from different reporters that 5 players were likely facing charges and were likely looking at, significant punishment suspensions from the NHL. I believe it's Monday coming up, that the London Police Service is supposed to have a press conference and they will announce and confirm exactly what the charges are. We do not know exactly what they are here as of yet. We know it's going to be connected to the sexual assault case, but they have multiple different charges they could lay. And these charges, as we've talked about before through other reports, with other, lawyers weighing in that have a lot of experience with this, that obviously more than any of us likely would, charges can also be upgraded as the case moves along. And with the Canadian justice system the way it is, it's probably going to be a long haul here before we really have a full outcome and know the full resolution and everything. These players very well could all end up on trial individually. They're likely all going to have fairly high profile, expensive lawyers that are going to defend them rigorously. And we will see what comes out and what more information we learn. But for right now, we can absolutely confirm these 5 players are the ones facing charges. So I know there's been a lot of other people that like to come on the internet, whether it be through Twitter, X, I guess, or YouTube, or comment sections, and basically this slander saying, well, I think the players are boom, 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 and rattle off all these players with absolutely zero proof, slandering players' names, calling people, bad names that they're not even confirmed to be. And there's a lot of people, I think, in their behavior and how they've talked about this online should be ashamed of themselves. So we now know the 5 players. That's confirmed. We'll likely get on Monday the confirmation of what the charges are, and then we'll move forward from there. I would suspect once charges are laid shortly thereafter, I would anticipate a statement from the NHL, possibly from each individual team that's affected, kind of outlining, I don't know sure if they'll come out and say these players are suspended indefinitely or something to that effect. But there'll definitely be a reaction from the league. I don't know if it'll be from the teams, but from the league for sure. And they very well could be on indefinite suspensions until everything is settled. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see where that goes. I would think it'd be pretty difficult for them to come back and play while everything is ongoing. I just don't see that. We want to go with a, innocent until proven guilty approach here. But I do know, based on Hockey Canada, settling a $3.5 million suit without even, advising the players back a number of years ago when this first happened or first brought to their attention, I would suspect for Hockey Canada to fork that kind of money over, that they had to have some pretty condemning evidence. We do know there's videotapes, based on everything that we've heard in the reports. I'm not going to call anybody guilty here because I can't say. I just know that there is some evidence against these boys that doesn't look good. But like I said, nothing as of today has been proven in court. They will have their opportunity to defend their innocence, and we'll see where things go. But the big news for right now, we can absolutely now, according to Rick Westhead, know who the 5 players are. We don't have to be seeing anybody else speculate. I know the speculation was kind of starting to come to an end once these players start taking leaves. But again, like I've said all along, you have to caution yourself what you say publicly. There's no point in slandering people and putting stuff on players that you can't prove and you can't say for sure happened. Right now, all we know is that these players are going to be facing charges. They're alleged to have committed some heinous crimes. If they're found guilty, clearly there's going to be, significant punishment both legally and career-wise. If they're found innocent, I would suspect they'll try to resume their careers. And I don't know how that's going to go, but that's a long ways from now. We don't know. We don't no point in discussing that because it's too far away. Like I said, the charges being laid is kind of like the end of the beginning, and now we enter a whole new era of this case in the situation where there's going to be a lot of dark days ahead for the NHL as they face, these players face obviously some pretty heinous allegations. And hopefully for the sport and the league, everybody else who's not connected to this can learn from it. And hopefully we don't see something like this happen again. But we'll see what happens from here. The next big update likely will come Monday once police hold their press conference, and we'll know a little bit more details at that time. So if you're new to the channel, of course, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.